folks, welcome back to TypeScript-Tacos, and today I want to do a quick little update on the recent announcement from the TypeScript group that the 2.4 release candidate is out to try out. This is a pretty nice release because what I got really excited about are the dynamic import expressions. Now check this out, pretty sweet, look at this. Await import. You have an import acting like a promise, which is awesome. That is fantastic. And that opens up a lot of possibilities. There's some other cool stuff in here. Parameter checking, weak types. The string enums is pretty cool. Maybe I'll cover that at a later time. But I really got excited about the await import stuff for various reasons. All right, cool. So we got this little TypeScript project. I've just put this together pretty fast. I'm basically just going to output my JavaScript to a lib folder, get my declarations with it, and I'm adding the ES2015 DOM to the lib property for compiler options. And I want to know that if I really screw something up, tell me in pretty errors where it's going to be true. And I have a source directory. Bam. All right, cool. So let's get into the source directory, right? All right, awesome. So let's say, for example, I want to write an API that's going to, I want to run it in either Windows, or I'm sorry, no, it's not Windows. I want to run it in the browser or in Node. All right, so let me make a little tweak that here. Browser or Node. All right, so basically what I'm going to do is I've got my URL. That URL is going to stay the same no matter what. I'm basically just going to check for GitHub repos for users based on username that was provided to me, right? Pretty simple. That's easy to do. GitHub API is a pretty straightforward API. So if type of window is undefined, that means I'm in Node. So that's console log Node right here, and I'm going to use a request promise native. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to load it dynamically. I'm going to go ahead and say make request equal to await import request promise native. So I'm not going to load this if I'm in Windows. I only care about loading this if I'm in Node. So I'm going to load that in. I got some options in here, and I'm going to go ahead and do a little try catch to make my request. And that is going to go ahead and log out the first repo that I get from that request. Right? That's pretty cool. I should probably do a try catch around the whole thing, so I'm doing the await import here. But let's live dangerously, right? But if I'm not in Node, if I'm in the browser, then I'm going to go ahead and use fetch to go ahead and fetch my repos. So I can create my headers, get my options going here, and I'm going to await fetch. That's promise as well. And then I'm also going to get the JSON response from my fetch response, JSON result from my fetch response. And then I'm just going to go ahead and console.log out the first repo. Then I'm going to go ahead and catch any errors that may pop up in doing all this madness. And I'm just going to go ahead and call this function, make request. All right, and this should work in both Node or the browser. So let's go ahead and do node lib index.js. Tells me I'm a node, and bam, there we go. That is my result for the first repo that came in my response. All right, and this is an old one here, the 100 lines or less application. Geez, that's old. Okay, so let's try to run this in the browser. All right. Let's refresh and browser, and there's my response. That's the first repo I got, the same as we got in Node. So I was able to write a pretty simple little library that works in either Node or the browser, and I'm going to go ahead and use this dynamic imports to go ahead and bring in the library that I want to use depending on what environment I'm in. That's awesome. That's a really cool way of being able to use dynamic imports inside of your code.